Okay, let's just make sure we were live. So I wanted to make sure I was connected, and before I explain what the fuck is going on. Though I did briefly explain what's going on during why am I drawing a blank here? Oh yeah, during the end of Rogue Trader, which again, still surprising that was the last stream for Rogue Trader. But this series will start going up after why am I drawing a blank here? Oh yeah, this series will start going up after Dawn of War, Winter Assault. And as to why I'm not just rolling right into Dark Crusade, Dark Crusade has a completely different level structure compared to Winter Assault and base Dawn of Wars, and it doesn't really fit for how I tend to upload my weekly videos, especially just because of the fact there's no set amount of levels for Dark Crusade and Soulstorm because of the fact that it's a board game. You can have the AI take back positions. So yeah, that's gonna be a stream going up on Saturdays after Winter Assault's done going up. But in the meantime, we're going to stream Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. The game that just sticks around. Xenoverse 2 came out in 2016. We are in 2025, and we just got another DLC for this damn game. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't hate that. I love the fact that this game has stuck around. So we're going to be playing through the entirety of the campaign, every single story mode, and like every expansion that has story, because some of the expansions, Xenoverse did I'll talk about it. Before we do anything, I'm actually going to load up my existing Saiyan. This is not the character we will be streaming with. I'm just doing this to prove a point. I will be streaming the entirety of this game's main campaign. And I stress that. Main campaign. This includes basically anything that is within the time nest we will be streaming. Some parts will be longer than others. Let me just turn those off. Ignore the fact that I have the 7 Dragon Balls. I'm saving them for when I need them. Here we go. To explain why we won't be covering all the parallel quests, for those who are unaware, there are 184 of them. I set them to easy when for those wondering, I set them to easy when if I'm grinding for a certain skill. My rule, I beat it once on the hard. If I'm running it 20 times, I'm doing it fast. I'll talk about that later. But, I should mention, I'll mention this though with the character once we make them. Yeah, we will not be playing as any of my 3 existing characters, whether it be my Majin, my Saiyan, or my human. Or my Frieza race. This is going to be a fresh character. So, let's give the rundown. This game is old. This game is old. This game's been around for a while, so I don't know how many people are aware of all of Xenoverse's rules. So, Xenoverse has you create a custom character. We've got every major race who has been present during Dragon Ball. We've got the Earthlings, we've got the Saiyans, we've got the Majin, the Namekians, and the Frieza race. The fact that all these other ones have names, but Frieza is just Frieza race, is always funny to me. And there's pros and cons to each of them. We'll go from far left to far right. The Majins have high defense but slow stamina recovery. Defense bonus when stamina is max. Stats differ by gender. So, depending on the character, the race, some of them do have stat differences based on male or female. Males have high health and don't take much damage, so they are low in stamina. Females have less health, but have a shorter break duration, which helps them avoid critical attacks. Break is if you run out of stamina, you will have to wait for your stamina to regenerate. Female Majin recover faster than male. But, so there's always pros and cons. Saiyans. Oh boy, Saiyans. To be honest, from my understanding, Saiyans are just the meta. And there's a reason why, and unsurprisingly, we all know this, anyone who knows Dragon Ball knows this, it's fucking Super Saiyan. But a warrior tribe that has low health but high attack power, and attack power rises when health is low, and all stats rise after reviving. You get a fucking Zenkai boost. So, like, the actual thing in Dragon Ball about, like, you know, a Saiyan getting stronger after almost dying is a gameplay mechanic. I do like that. Male Saiyans are better for melee attacks. Their buffs last longer, but super moves aren't as strong. Females can use Z assists more frequently, and they have better ki and stamina recovery, but lower health. Depending on the race what Super Saiyan you're playing, a female Saiyan might be the way to go. It's a personal preference at the end of the day, though. Earthlings! They're balanced stats for both offense and defense, and ki will refill automatically, and when maxed out, will increase your damage. So, in all honesty, I tend to use Earthlings for Ultra Instinct. Males are better for Strike Supers, and females have better ki. Being the fact that I love my ki blasts, that's why all my characters are female. Namekians! So, the Namekians and the Frieza races have no difference because, well, Namekians only have one, are just Namekians. There is no feed. To quote Team 4-Star with Roshi, I can't wait to see some Namekian ladies. I wouldn't get your hopes up. Yeah, they have low attack but high health and stamina refills quickly. Also, items are more effective than other races, and their health regenerates when low, referencing the fact that, you know, they can regrow limbs. Then there's the Frieza race. Frieza race was first introduced in Xenoverse 1, and they can overpower enemies with their fast movement, but they have the lowest health out of any race in the game. Their stamina recovers while attacking, and their movement speed increases as their health lowers. They are all about speed, and you can basically use abilities like Frieza's golden form. I'll talk about the transformations, though, later. I'm actually curious about something, I forget. Does it just show Goku? Yeah, it just shows Goku. In Xenoverse 1, the portraits in the background were of, like, the iconic characters of the races. So, on Namekian, you'd see Piccolo, Frieza race, you'd see Frieza. Earthlings, you'd see, I believe it was, like, Tien and Yamcha. Saiyans, of course, you saw Goku and Vegeta, and Majin, you only saw Buu. But yeah, we are going to be playing a female Saiyan. Let's see here. Actually, I'm going to keep the scar. So I will say that some things you can't, like, anything in this color menu you can change in-game. You know what, I'm going to leave the hair as is. Instead of, like, the full jet black of the Saiyans. Eyes. And color of the uniform, I'm going to change that later. Now for the important thing, voices. I like this one. I'm just gonna go with Shade as the name, just because channel name and everything. My preferred playstyle is hang back and blast them from afar. So what those choices mean are those choices will determine not starting stats, but starting skills. If you do the I like to be up close, you're going to get a lot of CQC skills. If you do I like to blast them from far, you're going to get a lot of range skills. And the balance is going to be a mix of the two. Key blasts are honestly the way to go, just because there are so many heavy damaging key blasts. I might need to increase the biome. Okay, no, that sounds fine.
伝説のスーパーサイヤ人とやらが現れたりすると不愉快ですからね。復習の続きを始めましょうか。これで全てが変わる。綺麗な花火が上がりますよ。
Now there's ousting for some reason. We got Turles, Slug, and boy, Kagyu, you don't even know if you played Xenoverse 1 or Dragon Ball Online. That hair, gee, I wonder who the fuck that is. Okay. Ugh. Reason why I was Xenoverse 2 over 1. Nothing against Xenoverse 1. I just think Xenoverse 2 is a better game. In all honesty, if you're going to play any of them, I'd say get Xenoverse 2. Better drop rates, a lot more content, and honestly, it's at least a little bit better balanced than Xenoverse 1.
Nanda.
頼まれてたトレーニングスーツできたわよ。なかなかいい素材が手に入ったから前のよりフィット感なんかも格段に上がってるはずよ。ほんと全然働かない夫に最新トレーニングスーツまで作っちゃうなんて。
Fucking Bulma calling Vegeta out.
私ってできた妻よね。ちょっと
I love how it's canon that Saiyans are just attracted to the strong partners, and Piccolo just understood everything at that moment.
ああ、なんか腹立ってきた。パーッと誕生日パーティーでもやってやろうかしら。別に誕生日じゃないけど。
一件報告あり、状況把握、引き続き調査されたし。ちょっと待てー。なんですかいきなり。
例の超重要人物お前に決まったぞい。さっさと戻ってこ
An old man. Age 852. So before we continue, as we're letting this cutscene play, let's talk about the timeline. Dragon Ball uses its own calendar system called Age instead of just, normal years. I'm trying to double check here. The events of everything with Goku don't happen to age 734, so this is at least 100 years post. And, well, this all happens to exist mostly because Future Trunks fucked with time. I'm gonna increase the voice volume. Yeah, we have Supreme Kai of Time, who's a fucking little gremlin whose cooking puts fear into Beerus. Like, there's three different appearances of the Supreme Kai of Time. She's a major character in Xenoverse. But, she's also been in the manga and I believe Dragon Ball Heroes. But who the fuck isn't in Dragon Ball Heroes, if I'm gonna be honest? This has just kind of become, though, her usual design. She's also one of the oldest Kais in existence. The only person being older is, Elder Kai. Well, now that I'm at least semi-cut loose where I can access the menus and go over my skills. Yeah, so we can't fly around the city yet. You unlock more stuff as you go, but, let's see here. I'm just getting through all this right now, because we're gonna have a lot of notices coming up, because fresh character and all. Or not, okay. So, welcome to Canton City. This is the main hub of Xenoverse 2, for those who've never played it. It's a lot more expansive than the hub of Xenoverse 1, and I really like it. Now, for those, again, I know I'm going to sound like, I'm going to probably get people like, why the fuck are you explaining this? You don't need to. We all know Xenoverse. I'm explaining for those who've never played. Inventory is not save-bound. It is account-bound. So this means all of the outfits and everything I've collected are all here. Let's see here. was actually debating for a little bit what I would go for an outfit. Yeah, these are QQ bangs. I was gonna explain them more in detail later. I have worked really hard for the ones I have. Where is... And there you go. Okay, going over from the top really quick. Equipment! So equipment, as you can see, affects your health, ki, stamina, basic attacks, strike supers, and ki blast supers. So all of your stats are determined by, are increased by the equipment you wear, unless you have a QQ bang. These were added in Xenoverse 2, and I believe after an update. You can take two, eventually you can get two pieces of equipment, merge them together, and create them. They have rarities, much like the items themselves. Like, for example, this 2-star, it only has, like, a +2 in health and ki, but a lot of negatives. This used to be the highest, like, where you could get, like, 3 5s and a bunch of negatives. This used to be the best way to get it. Then they introduced another, I forget the exact method because it's been a while, but you could get 6 stars, and some of them you could get some really good ones with minimum negatives. Or you didn't hear from me, you could save it and get all, like, 5s. Fuck that. And then there's Super Souls, which are... So the way Super Souls work are, they are passive... They're your passives. For example, Goku's here is when using Power Pole Pro, which is in a transformation, you'll get all attacks extra large. Limit Burst was a thing you can activate once per mission, get a different bonus depending on the soul you run. 20 million is a really good one for Zenny grinding. And then the one I'm running is R2 strengths aren't just added together, which is the Gogeta Super Soul from Dragon Ball Super Broly. While it is active, at all times, I will have Ki is in auto recovery mode. I use this to offset transformations. Get into that next. Let me fix my outfit coloring. There we go. And so let's next go into skills. So as I mentioned, yeah, as you can see, I've got a lot of skills. I have played a lot of this game. I don't use all these skills, as you can tell. Some of them, there are multiple ways to get skills. Some you get from certain characters, others you could buy, and then some you get from side quests. The way you can tell, there are a few different types of skills. There are strike skills. These will use your physical these are all punches of some various form. They're all your physical attacks. They will use your strike stat. Then there's ki blasts. These are the beams. They're your kamehamehas, your Gallic guns, usual stuff like that. Let me see here. Which other one do I want to use? Divine Kamehameha, that's just a great fucking skill. Oh, others are going to be things like your, in all honesty, at all times, have a form of energy charge. In Xenoverse 1, energy charge had to be unlocked. You could not start with it, which made ki attacks really difficult to use at first. The fact that you start with energy charge is really good. You could get full power and maximum charge later in the game, and if you have the DLC, I believe if I remember correctly, ultimate charge and burst charge are through parallel quests, and ultimate charge is the one I use because I'm used just to having a massive amount of ki. Then you have power-ups, which have things like, for example, fighting poses, which are Ginyu poses. I forget who does this one. We got Hero Pose, which if I remember correctly, Muse Hero Super Elite. I think that's Jocko. Fruit of the Tree of Might, which is Turles, stuff like that. Meditation is an interesting one because it's from Jiren. You'll meditate and charge ki, and if you hold it long enough, you'll actually get a boost. Okay, let me think. What else do I want? Gigantic Cluster. I have some, like, the best skills in the game, but like, one of the best key skills in the game, but I'm refusing to use it. Ultimate attacks these are your massive attacks. You have, like, I'm going to go over some examples here. Sword of Hope. This is what was used to finish off Zamasu by Trunks. Darkness Rush, which, interesting enough, Darkness Rush can be used by everyone but Namekians. Let's see here. As you can guess, based on the fact that all my attacks are key-based, we are going to be using a lot of these. Let's see here, we got these. Which one is it? Is this one? Yeah. Hell Zone Grenade! Warp Kamehameha. I will not be using an Awaken skill yet. I'll talk about that why in a moment. Okay, so Awoken skills, these are the transformations. As you can see, I have a bunch of... Well, I have everything that a Saiyan can access right now. You won't be able to see the other races' transformations while you're not playing them. But you can see I've got Super Saiyan, Kaioken, Super Vegeta, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan, or just more commonly known as Super Saiyan Blue, Future Super Saiyan Blue Evolved, Super Saiyan God, Beast, and Ultra Instinct. I don't know why Super Saiyan God is differentiated by female and male. I have not figured that out. But going from each of them, the way I'm going to handle Awoken skills is, as I was saying, I am going to keep my transformations limited to what is available at that time. So during the starting part of the game, I will use nothing. When Goku starts using Kaioken, I will use Kaioken. When Goku goes Super Saiyan, I will go Super Saiyan. Though instead of Super Saiyan, I'm going to use Super Vegeta, just because it fits better with my playstyle. Like, I will switch Super Saiyan, Super Vegeta, and Future Super Saiyan out, as they all visually are the same. I will not use God or Blue until the Battle of Gods or Resurrection of F arcs. The exceptions will be Beast and Ultra Instinct if I chose to use them, just because of the fact that their arcs are not covered in the game. I'm doing this to kind of, like, handicap myself, because I could just blitz through everything. And with that, I'm out of tutorial shit. Yeah, this is just the information desk if you have questions. Yeah, so each of these big buildings are shops. The metal shop is where you can spend TP medals, which I have a few. Time-based deliveries where you can get items sent to you by friends, or pick up items from the system, like staff. We've got the clothing shop here, which is obviously used to buy new... You can buy new clothes, more come unlocked as you complete the story. And there's something interesting I do want to talk about. So the clothing shop, as I said, this clothing shop has been here since the start of the game. This guy has not. Before, if you wanted to change your character's hair or anything like that, you had to go and collect the Dragon Balls and summon Shenron. You summoned Shenron for haircuts. Suddenly, Bulma summoning Shenron for plastic surgery isn't as ridiculous. To give you an idea, let me check my play data. I forget if it shows it through account or not. You can kind of see it just my record. A lot of it's at 0 because, you know, just the character we're playing as. Is it? No. Where is? Does it show? Okay, it doesn't show it here. If I switched back to my Saiyan, I've summoned Shenron like 20 times, and most of those were for haircuts or just to redistribute my stats. Which at least that last one makes sense. Also, there's these little transfer shops all around here. You can't use it right now, but they will let you teleport to anywhere there's a transfer shop on the map. Whether it be going to Shenron, the online combat, or the online area, I believe the one at the top of this hill is for tournaments. There is the area down below for parallel quests, but everything else we'll talk about as we go. Second member to ever do this, which is to travel to eras where changes in history have been made and fix any errors that may have occurred. Here's the thing I also talk about Xenoverse with this channel. I have streamed Xenoverse before, but most of those streams are unavailable, but, you know, they're there. I have them as private. But, fun thing, we'll talk about it later, actually. We'll talk about it later. I don't think it'll come up till, I think, the Saiyan Saga. So if you've never played this is something I do like about Xenoverse 2. You can choose to skip the tutorial for combat. If you talk to Elder Kai, he will teach you how to play the game, if I remember correctly. Oh no, Supreme Kai of Time will teach you battle. I already know how to play the game, so we can skip that. Elder Kai will start the story. Yep. This is the time vault. You'll be able to change the difficulty. It's only easy and normal. We're gonna leave it at normal. I think I will still have a little bit of an easier... I'm gonna have an easier time because I have some really good skills, but my stats are appropriate. It's not like I'm overpowered. When we start getting into the more recent content, I'm going to switch to my... I might switch over to my personal character and use the Dragon Balls to, like, maybe make them look like this character. I don't know. But the reason why is, to put it simply, holy fuck, leveling up has gone insane. That is time change. So we all anyone who's seen Dragon Ball, we all know this is where Goku is supposed to die to Raditz. Well, not die to rats, but Raditz and Goku were supposed to die to Piccolo's special beam cannon. Or Makan Senpo or what. I actually don't even know how to say the fucking Japanese name for that attack. Oh. Oh my god, it's been a while since I've seen my ki be that low. Okay, Raditz really could have just beat the shit out of me there. He's still only as strong as a Cyberman. So he's a lot stronger. He managed to avoid the... Goku couldn't get him into the full Nelson and hit him with the... So Piccolo could hit him with the special beam cannon. So... yeah, that's where things have changed. No hole drilled through their bodies. You know what? I will write that up to model limitations. Though this game has some funny stuff with the model styles. There's an entire Xenoverse style model for Paragus, but he never appears in Xenoverse. He exists strictly for Dragon Ball The Breakers, which is the same models. And just so freezing, I go, Broly, it's terrible! Your father was hit by a stray energy blast. Just fucking bow. Also, this one has movie villains. Most of Xenoverse 1's time changes were just certain characters were powered up, and that's it. Though the Ginyu saga, the bit with Ginyu was fucking annoying. Also, fun fact for those who've never played it, every single race fights slightly differently, like in terms of their attack animations. Yeah, this was Raditz. This was easy. This is the start of Z. He's right. Like, it is going to get a lot harder as things go on. Yep. This man is a millennium older than her. Yeah. Why do I see a landmine? A little bit. We can, and we will.